Zika. It's really everywhere. Thank God it's received so much global attention. What the World Health Organization has suggested so far seems to be reasonable and effective.
My name is Emily Veris. I teach higher level biology here at WIS. And a couple years ago, Ms. Mack and I were working with evolution and infectious disease and our unit on immunity, and we were thinking it might be really cool to investigate one of the issues in the current kind of headlines, which was Ebola, from the perspective of the immune system and evolution. And so now this has transitioned into a world issue with Zika instead of Ebola. So it was pretty easy for Ms. Barris and I, who teaches standard level biology, to consider what the implications of Zika might be.
The Zika virus first originated in Africa. It was discovered in a rhesus monkey in Uganda in 1947. A year later, the virus was detected in the Aedes mosquito, the same species carrying it today. In 1952, the first cases of Zika virus in humans were detected in Uganda and also the United Republic of Tanzania.
The purpose was really to take one of the complex issues that was taking place in the world around us and taking a step back to really analyze the information and consider the global implications of an infectious disease like Zika.
Yes, calling global attention to Zika is good, but it's important to recognize that it's really affecting all of us differently. In Brazil, areas in the northeast are the worst hit. These are also the areas with the greatest concentrations of poverty. In fact, in 2012, only 20% of people in the north had access to basic sanitation, and just 10% of households had sewage or running water. This means that water in these poorer areas is mostly kept in open containers. Similarly, this means that a lot of stagnant sewage water is present in neighborhoods and that trash is infrequently collected. These conditions make places in the north of Brazil breeding grounds for mosquitoes.
So in creating the videos and in creating the concept map, the students were really considering three main questions. The first question that they were investigating was, what is Zika? And that kind of leads really nicely into the second question, which is, how is Zika transmitted? And if we consider information coming from the news and coming from various media sources, it's not so clear how much we know about Zika and what the transmission is and who's really being affected by this particular virus.
Zika and babies.
So Zika is the spread through the bite of an infected Aedes species mosquito, and it can be passed from pregnant women to her fetus and can cause certain birth defects when infected during pregnancy. And we'll be talking about medication and vaccines later on.
Most adults will not notice that they have Zika virus or may experience mild symptoms, and these can include fever, a rash, joint pain, conjunctivitis, muscle pain, or a headache, whereas babies can have severe problems caused by the virus.
And so the third question was really looking at what are the implications of Zika. So students were interested in socioeconomic or geographic, in terms of the spread of disease. Some students were looking at genetically modified mosquitoes or virology, or what are the medical implications or environmental implications, and this was all their choice. So they got to choose what they were most interested in studying about Zika and then kind of take it from there. And so it morphed into this project very similar to Ebola, but not guided by Ms. Barris and I. So the students created a concept map that is now found in the library.